Out on the back roads of Tennessee, Trace Adkins's ranch settles into the land with an easy kind of confidence. Quiet, warm, and moving at the slow rhythm of southern life. Morning comes gently here. The air is cool, the light unhurried, and the day seems to open on its own time. This is where he returns when the spotlight fades, a place held together by family, old traditions, and the calm he never found on stage. Today, we step onto that Tennessee soil and into the country world he calls home, steady and honest in its own way. And that calm didn't start here. It's something he carried long before the fame. Trace Adkins was born in 1962 in the small, quiet town of Sarepta, Louisiana, a place where mornings began slowly and the sounds of daily life carried farther than ambition. His father worked steady hours. His mother kept the home warm and orderly, and Trace's earliest stage was the church choir. That is where his deep, unmistakable voice first took shape, rising from wooden pews long before anyone imagined it would ever reach beyond the parish walls. He didn't learn to sing in classrooms or studios. His voice grew naturally from front porch evenings, family gatherings, and the slow rhythm of Southern life. In Sarepta, people didn't talk much about talent, but they recognized honesty when they heard it. And in Trace's voice, they heard something lived in and true. After high school, he didn't head straight for Nashville. He went to work instead, the kind of hard jobs that test a young man. Trace spent long days on offshore oil rigs where the wind was hard, the hours were heavy, and the ocean made every shift feel longer. Those years carved depth into his voice. He carried the grit of the Gulf with him, and at night, when he played small bar gigs after work, people felt that weight in every song. Life was far from smooth. He survived a bad truck accident. Then a workplace injury took part of 2 fingers. Later, a gunshot wound nearly ended his life. Any of these moments could have stopped him, but they didn't. They made him realize what truly mattered. Music wasn't just something he enjoyed. It was the one thing that never left him. So when he finally left Louisiana for Nashville, he didn't bring polish or training, only real experience, the kind country music understands immediately. Nashville didn't give him success right away, but it didn't ignore him either. In 1996, he released Dreamin' Out Loud, and that deep Southern voice finally found its place. There's a Girl in Texas got people on country radio paying attention, but This Ain't No Thinkin' Thing is what truly lifted him. It reached number 1, the album went platinum, and Trace stepped onto a bigger stage, not as a sudden star, but as someone who earned every step with patience. After that, the songs kept coming, and people carried them into their own lives. He showed tenderness in Every Light in the House, grit in Ladies Love Country Boys, and quiet truth in You're Gonna Miss This, a song that reminded listeners how easy it is to overlook the moments that matter. Then came the playful punch of Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, and later the Grammy-nominated Hillbilly Bone with Blake Shelton. Across the years, Trace sold more than 11 million albums and landed over 20 singles on the charts, the kind of consistency only someone truly grounded can keep. In 2003, he was invited to join the Grand Ole Opry, a moment that meant more than success. It meant he belonged. Hollywood followed, with movies and TV roles where he carried the same steady honesty people heard in his music. He never adjusted his personality to fit the screen. He simply brought himself. What set Trace apart was never flash, but endurance. The steady climb of a man who lived a full, difficult life before fame ever found him. His voice carries those years of work, close calls, and survival. And today he stands not just as a country star, but as a storyteller shaped by the same slow, steady soil he grew up on. After everything he has been through, Trace built a career by staying patient and true to himself. His voice carries the real stories of his life, and that honesty is what makes people feel connected to him after all these years. From this long journey, we turn toward the quiet land he calls home. A Tennessee farm where Trace steps back from the noise and settles into the slower rhythm that keeps him grounded. Ranch in Tennessee. There's a point on the road outside Nashville where the noise thins out, the houses fade, Vadat Tennessee batdo hien dung ban chutquana. That's the stretch where Trace Adkins' ranch comes into view. Not dramatic, not staged, just a long sweep of land that looks like it's been steady for generations. Built on what was once a dairy farm outside Nashville, the 588-acre estate sits exactly where the Appalachian Mountains, giving the ranch a sense of stillness you can almost feel before you step out of the truck. The land shaped itself over years of weather and hard work, steady under the hands of someone who knows how to live with it. From the outside, the home feels like a place shaped by countless early mornings. Warm wood, deep porches, and a roofline that seems to settle naturally into the trees around it. Step inside, and the scale shifts. The wide Tennessee landscape gives way to rooms that feel close, familiar. The main level opens into a rustic space wrapped in timber, the propane fireplace casting a soft glow that holds steady even on the coldest mountain nights. Nothing here feels arranged for show. It's a home built for long conversations, boots drying by the door, and winter evenings that linger without planning to. The primary bedroom sits just off the main hall, simple and quiet, with a shower tucked in the corner and windows facing the tree line. Down the hall, a Jack and Jill bathroom links two guest rooms, a layout clearly meant for families, kids racing between spaces, or friends staying through long weekends. Another bedroom hides a bit farther down, with its own small sitting nook, almost like a retreat within the retreat. None of the rooms try to outshine the others. The screened-in porch carries that feeling even further. It's the kind of southern space that shows exactly how a home is meant to be lived in. Fog lifting off the pasture during morning coffee, soft lavender skies settling behind the ridge at dusk. A room without walls, without pressure, where he can sit in the quiet and let the day ease into itself. Many evenings end in the nearby family room, another fire burning low while guitars rest against the wall and stories drift long into the night. Step back outside and the land opens wide again. A private lake lies in the valley, its surface shifting with the light. Brooks and small streams move gently through the acreage, creating soft paths through mossy stones and shaded patches of woods. Trails wind across open fields, dip into hollows, then climb the ridge with an easy, unhurried rhythm. It's land made for hunters, riders, and anyone who understands how steadying a long walk can be when gravel is the only sound around. Off to the side sits a detached two-car garage with a guest room above it, a straightforward, useful space for visiting family or crew. More than anything, the ranch feels stitched together by years of living. Every room, every porch, every stretch of grass carries the same quiet honesty. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, everything earned. Trace moves through it with the ease of someone who belongs there, his steps unhurried and his presence blending naturally into the rhythm of the place. This isn't a retreat made to impress. It's a life shaped into the land, a place that gives him a peace the outside world rarely does. In the end, the ranch reflects the steady calm Trace has chased for decades. Open fields, warm rooms, and a peace that arrives on its own terms. It's less a property than a refuge shaped by seasons, work, and the simple truth of living close to the land. And before he chose this ranch as the place to settle his life, he had a home in Brentwood, where he and his family lived through many busy years, raising their children and keeping life on track amid a non-stop performance schedule. House in Brentwood. Set against a stretch of quiet woods in Brentwood, Trace Adkins' Tennessee home feels less like a suburban property and more like a place carved gently into the landscape. The house settles across 5,266 square feet, but its presence is soft. Brick muted by shade, porches draped in quiet, and the trees gathering tight around it as if they've been protecting it for years. From the road, it's the calm you notice first, a kind of stillness that deepens before you even reach the front steps. Inside, the home opens the way a slow conversation does, steady, warm, unhurried. The open concept design lets the kitchen, dining area, and family room flow into one another with the ease of everyday living. A fireplace anchors the space, giving the room a glow that feels familiar, almost lived in before you ever sit down. With 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms tucked naturally into the layout, the house doesn't show its size all at once. It reveals itself gently, the way places meant for comfort tend to do. The ground floor suite feels like a quiet pause in the middle of the home. Wood paneling, soft lighting, and a door opening straight to the porch create a kind of refuge, the sort of room where long tours and late-night drives finally settle. Upstairs, the main suite expands into its own rhythm. Double closets, softer light, and a bathroom that feels more like a spa than a necessity. Nothing in the space tries too hard. Everything is designed to let a person breathe. Walk downstairs, and the atmosphere shifts. The finished basement widens into a lived-in retreat, a movie room dimmed for slow evenings, open corners shaped for teenagers, friends, or anyone needing space of their own. It doesn't feel like an addition. It feels like the house growing downward, taking on the moods of the people inside it. But the home's truest heartbeat waits just past the back door. The deck opens toward a stretch of protected green where the woods rise like a quiet wall around the property. Stay there long enough and the place begins to shape you. The leaves shifting in slow layers, the silence settling into the porch rails, and the light slipping through the trees with the same soft grace you'd find in the Smokies. This house carries its own history. In 2011, a fire swept through and left much of it wounded, the kind of moment that could have erased what made the place feel like home. But the rebuild was careful, almost gentle. Walls returned, rooms opened again, and somehow the spirit stayed intact, steady, familiar, and quiet. Today, valued around $1.6 million and rented out, the home still feels like proof that some places don't lose themselves even after being broken and rebuilt. In this quiet Brentwood refuge, Trace finds the rhythm he trusts most: slow mornings, soft light, and a calm that settles deeper than applause ever could. It's the place that holds him steady, long after the spotlight fades. From this still, wooded retreat, the story shifts toward motion. The vehicles that have carried Trace through long miles, long tours, and the life built along the way. Car collection. The first is the Cadillac Escalade, the big black SUV he used for years when work pulled him into Nashville or onto movie sets. With a current value around $25,000, it became the quiet space between long days, a place to rest his voice, rehearse a line, or make a phone call before stepping into the noise of the industry. The Escalade isn't loud in personality, but it moves with a kind of authority that fits him. Tall stance, soft ride, and enough room for guitars, wardrobe bags, and whoever needed a lift that day. It was his workhorse during the busiest seasons, sturdy enough to hold all the moving parts of a country star's schedule. Then there's the old Chevrolet C-Series pickup, valued around $15,000, though what it's worth to him has nothing to do with the price. The paint has dulled, the body shows its years, and the engine makes a low, familiar sound. He's been seen leaning on it during breaks, fishing pole in hand, talking with a friend the way people do when they're relaxed. It's a simple truck that doesn't try to be anything more. It does the job, and that's exactly why he keeps it. The Chevrolet Silverado, valued near $30,000, is the truck that anchors his everyday life. It's the one built for real work, hauling equipment across the ranch, checking fence lines after a long rain, and handling the practical jobs that keep a large property moving. The Silverado isn't tied to a moment in his career. It's tied to the rhythm of his daily routine. It reflects the side of him that prefers doing the work himself, quietly and without fuss, long before anyone ever turns a camera on. The Chevrolet Suburban, now valued at around $35,000, is the vehicle most people associate with the years he spent raising a family and traveling non-stop. Built with a 5.3-liter V8 engine and 3 full rows of seating, it was steady, spacious, and strong enough to handle long highway runs without complaint. What mattered to him wasn't the power or the size, but the way the Suburban kept everyone in one place during the busiest seasons. It wasn't glamorous, but it was dependable, and that mattered far more. And the truck that defines him today is the GMC Sierra Denali, valued near $70,000. It fits the life he leads now, quieter, more intentional, shaped by long drives across open land. Inside, the cabin feels almost like a second living room. Soft leather seats, a wide center console, and a calm, insulated quiet that makes the road feel softer than it is. The Sierra is powerful but unhurried, built for someone who moves easily between dirt paths and long stretches of highway. It offers comfort without showing off, strength without noise. When you look at them all together, his vehicles say more than any spotlight moment ever could. They trace the way his life has shifted, from busy years on the road to slower days on the land. Nothing flashy, nothing forced, just the machines that have carried him through every chapter. The story turns toward the numbers, the steady earnings, long-term work, and choices that built the financial foundation beneath his career. Income and net worth. Trace Adkins' financial story is quieter than the spotlight he stands in. His net worth sits around $19 million, a number built slowly over decades rather than in sudden waves. The backbone of it has always been music. 11 studio albums, most going gold or platinum, each one anchoring another chapter of his career. Since his 1996 album Dreamin' Out Loud, his music catalog has kept him afloat on the charts and on tour, with hits like This Ain't No Thinkin' Thing, Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, and Days Like This, generating a steady stream of income. About $1,800,000 a year from touring, $320,000 from publishing royalties, and about $160,000 a year from licensing. Country music may shift over time, but his baritone has always kept the revenue steady. What kept him financially grounded wasn't just the music, but the way he expanded beyond it. Television opened another lane, guest spots on Hollywood Squares and Pyramid, voice work on King of the Hill, and national commercial narration for KFC, together bringing in $650,000. His run on The Celebrity Apprentice added even more, $250,000 from the show itself, and roughly $1 million in follow-on endorsements and partnerships after his 2013 win. Acting continued the pattern. Roles in films such as The Lincoln Lawyer earned him about $120,000 per project and extended his income beyond the music industry. Through personal setbacks, which he wrote about in his memoir, A Personal Stand, he kept working. Every album, every performance, every appearance added another layer to a financial foundation built on consistency rather than flash. His earnings didn't come from chasing trends. They came from showing up, doing the work, and letting a recognizable voice carry him through decades. Today, his income comes from the same steady pillars: royalties that continue to pay, tours that still draw crowds, acting jobs that show up each year, and brand work built on longevity. It's not flashy wealth, but it's solid, earned, and the result of decades of staying in the game. In the end, his net worth reflects the same slow build that shaped his life. Steady albums, steady work, and a career held together not by luck, but by years of showing up and doing the job. From here, his financial success leads naturally to another part of his story: the ways he gives back, often quietly, and always with intention. Philanthropy. Trace Adkins has spent decades in the spotlight, but his giving has always stayed quiet. It comes from where he grew up, a small Louisiana town shaped by faith, community, and the belief that you help people by showing up when they need you most. His largest act of giving came on national television, when he raised $1.5 million for the American Red Cross. It was more than a moment of success. It was a reminder of how deeply he cares for families rebuilding after disaster. That same instinct carried him into years of support for Wounded Warrior Project. During a benefit show, he donated $500,000, helping wounded veterans return to a life with stability and dignity. Trace's generosity stretches beyond big stages. For years, he quietly supported local animal rescues, offering $250,000 to help provide food, medical care, and shelter for abandoned animals, a cause he rarely speaks about, though he stays closely involved. When storms hit the South, he stepped forward again, channeling $100,000 into disaster relief efforts for communities struggling to stand back up after hurricanes and floods. He has also shown a soft, steady commitment to children battling severe illness. Through benefit concerts and private contributions, he directed $350,000 toward foundations that grant wishes and provide care for children facing the hardest diagnoses. None of his efforts were loud or meant for attention. They came from a man shaped by real hardship, giving in the same steady, sincere way he built his career. In that quiet generosity, you see the heart behind the voice, someone who understands struggle and chooses, again and again, to ease it where he can. Behind these quiet acts of generosity, the story now shifts closer to home, to the everyday rhythms and private moments that shape Trace's life today. Personal life. These days, Trace Adkins lives at a slower, steadier rhythm than the one that once carried him across stadium stages and long tour roads. His mornings usually begin outdoors, where the air is quiet and the land around his Tennessee property opens wide. He likes simple starts: coffee on the porch, boots on the ground, a quick walk to clear his head before the day stacks up with writing sessions, rehearsals, or meetings for the projects he still keeps close. Family sits at the center of that routine. Trace has 5 daughters, and even though they're grown, the conversations, check-ins, and weekend visits shape much of his time. With his wife, Victoria Pratt, life moves in a calm, intentional rhythm. Shared meals, slow evenings at home, and the kind of partnership built on patience after years of learning what truly matters. Friends say he laughs more these days, speaks softer, and carries himself with the ease of someone who has already fought his hardest battles. Music remains the one part of his life that never quieted. He still writes, records, and performs, not with the pressure of proving anything, but with the comfort of a man who knows exactly what his voice is for. On certain afternoons, you'll find him in the barn-turned-studio behind the house, working through new melodies or revisiting old ones that still tug at him. It's a space that feels honest, steady, and unmistakably Trace. In his free hours, he leans into the things that keep him grounded: riding horses, working land, tending to small repairs around the property, or grilling with friends until the sun drops low. He's not chasing noise anymore. Just a life that feels real, lived, and close to the people he loves. If you've followed Trace through his music, his hardships, and his quiet rebuilding, you'll feel that same thread running through his life today. A man who stayed true to himself, one slow mile at a time. And if you enjoy stories that look beyond the spotlight into the real human lives of public figures, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. There are many more remarkable stories waiting for you in the next episodes.